Okay, where do we start? My name is Pino Dasa. I started a company called The Staffing Alternative in 2014. We specialize in a temporary and permanent and executive search of HR professionals. So if you are an HR professional and you are looking for your next job, I'm a very good resource for you. I'm a very good person to know. So you're going to want to connect with me. Okay. Before we get into what I'm going to talk about, we're talking about unconventional ways of looking for work. Before we get into it, I have a fantastic YouTube channel, and I'm excited to talk to you about it. On my YouTube channel, I share job searching tips and strategies. So when you go home tonight and you want to scroll through my channel, please subscribe. It would help me to subscribe to my channel. I got guests on that channel. I give you job searching tips and strategies, and I host roundtables. So if anyone subscribe to my channel, you do me a favor, okay? Very good. We're going to subscribe to the channel. Very good. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Looking for work is one of the most painful things you will do in your lifetime. And I know it is because I've done it myself. It's stressful. It's discouraging. You lose sleep. Bills are piling up. It's very hard, especially for students, especially for you guys. You're going to graduate. When are we graduating? December? Okay. So pressure's mounting. We got about 4 or 5 weeks left, and now we got to find a job. Like, oh my God, where do I start? Where do I go? I will answer that question for you. Okay. We've been conditioned from day one, from our birth, to do certain things. We've also been conditioned to how to look for jobs. We look for jobs by sitting at our desk at our laptops and clicking to apply to all these endless jobs you see online, right? That's what we did. And I did that too. We've all done it. We sit at our desk and we pray. It's called spray and pray technique, where we spray our resume to all these open jobs, hoping and praying that a potential employer calls you for an interview and says, come in for an interview. We want an interview for this great job. Oftentimes that doesn't happen. Why doesn't it happen? I have the answer. Because these companies right now are getting 2, 3, 4, 500 resumes per job posting. Okay? So they're getting flooded with so many resumes, right? Your resume, I'm gonna get my hand slapped for this, in some cases doesn't even get seen. So when you click send, you assume someone's gonna open it up, a recruiter or a hiring manager is gonna open up the resume and look at the resume and call you in. But not to discourage you, your resume oftentimes doesn't get looked at. Arena was talking about ATS, applicant tracking systems. A lot of these companies actually don't even have them. So your resume is going into someone's inbox, just a regular inbox, and then you think someone's gonna open up the resume and look at it that way. Okay, so it's kind of bad news, but this is what's happening. It's just there's the labor market is slowed down right now as opposed to a couple of years ago. During the pandemic, there was a demand for talent. It slowed down. There's too many people right now looking for limited jobs. Okay, so how do I find a job? Okay, I'm gonna give you some great tips that you can apply right now to help you get noticed. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna give you this analogy, and I thought of this on the way over here. My wife and I are building a custom home. We're building this beautiful home right now for my wife and our 2 kids. And it's our dream home. And we have this toolbox. And in this toolbox, we have hammers and we have saws and drills and all these tools to build this beautiful home. Because to build a beautiful home takes a lot of different tools, not just one tool. Okay. You guys have a job searching toolbox. And in that toolbox, you have tools. And one tool is called networking. And another tool is called social media and creating content. And another tool you have is called applying for jobs online. We've been conditioned to only use one tool. In your toolbox, guys, you have to use all your tools. If you sit at your desk and you send your resume to all these different positions that you're applying for, you are not going to get noticed because these companies are getting flooded with resumes, 200-300 resumes per job posting. That's your first issue. Second issue, they're not opening up all the resumes, okay? And so you have to, I think again, when I talk about we've been conditioned to sit at the desk and apply to all these jobs, it's not gonna work anymore. It would have worked maybe 15, 20 years ago. Those days are long gone. The labor market right now is ultra competitive, okay? So when I talk about this toolbox, it's just a silly analogy that I use. You have to use all these tools to get noticed, right? Think about this room. how many people are in this room right now? There's about 100 people in this room. You are competing with 100 people, right? It's competitive. So let me give you some examples of what I think you should be doing. So 1, apply to jobs that closely match your background and experience. That's the first thing you should be doing, okay? Before you click send, ask yourself, do I have the experience? If you do, click send. That's great. Another thing that I think you should be doing is being active on platforms like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the #1 platform for job seekers, okay? Does everyone here have a LinkedIn platform? Okay, good. Take advantage of that platform. It's the best. Hiring managers are starving for people. They can't find what they're looking for, so they go, it's probably the first platform that they use to look for talent. So be active on LinkedIn, okay? Remember this is really important. Like, share, comment daily on LinkedIn. Create content. Let employers know who you are and the value that you potentially offer, okay? So when you're active on LinkedIn, you're letting employers know who you are, and again, the value that you could potentially bring. I'm gonna share a great story with you. I'm forgetting her name right now. She was new to Canada. I think she was from India, and she was having a hard time finding work. So she kept calling me. We would stay in contact with her. I loved her. I thought she was great. She spoke so well. And I said, you gotta get in front of the camera, start creating videos and share them on platforms like LinkedIn. And she was a little hesitant to do so. But she was able to overcome that fear, and she started creating content. And as a result, she kept popping up on my feed. And I'd see her, there she is again. Now, she was talking about stuff related to HR, right? So she kept popping up on my feed, and what that did was, it actually reminded me of who she was and that she was available. So it was good content, and it was top of mind. When the position became available, I thought of her. So those videos that she was creating online reminded me of her. So when a position became available, she was top of mind. So now you're probably sitting there saying, I can't create videos, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Some of us don't want to, but we create videos on weekends with our friends and such. Take that same passion you have when you're out with your friends and your family, create content. Because again, guys, it is uber competitive right now. I've never seen the labor market this competitive. So a way to stand out is creating content. It's gonna be a great way for you to stand out, okay? That's my tip #1. So again, we're gonna create content, like, share, comment daily on LinkedIn, let employers know who you are. Follow companies that you wanna work for. So if there's companies that you're targeting, if there's a company that you really wanna work with, follow that page and connect with people there. Okay, that's another tip that I want to share with you. Follow their page, their LinkedIn page. Okay, in addition to that, find out who the hiring managers are. Find out who the person that is pulling the trigger that is hiring, and build connections with that person. Okay, another tip that I want to share with you is, if I was looking for work right now, I would create an Excel list, and I would find out who are all the recruiters in Toronto that specialize in, what are you studying right now? Okay, okay. What are you studying? Okay. Does anyone specialize in something? Give me something more specific. Is that? Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So what I would do if I were you, I would create a list. There are recruiters in Toronto and the GTA that specialize in supply chain. Find out who they are in Toronto. You can Google them, you can go on LinkedIn. They're all on LinkedIn. And find out who they are, okay? And connect with them and build relationships with these recruiters, because the recruiters will help you find jobs. 70% of jobs that are available right now in Toronto, you will not see them. It's called the hidden job market. You're not gonna see them. When I work on a position, oftentimes I try not to post a job because I have an established network of people that I already know. So, and there's another reason why companies don't post job ads. Oftentimes there's confidential searches, so they don't wanna broadcast that job online, right? So when you establish relationships with recruiters in your area of study, whatever it is that you do, let them know who you are, connect with them, tell them I want to come have a coffee with you, send them your resume, build a relationship or rapport with them, because those recruiters are going to get you to your next job. Now, there's two types of recruiters. There's the in-house recruiter and there's the agency recruiter. I'm specifically talking about the agency recruiter, okay? So build relationships with them. So create an Excel list. Find out who you are if you're in supply chain. Find out who the top recruiters in supply chain are. First name, last name, email address, and then connect with them on LinkedIn and say, I want to send you my resume. In addition to that, when they do find you a job, if and when they do find you a job, continue to maintain that relationship with them. Because oftentimes the labor market swings it shifts in many different directions. There's layoffs, sometimes companies have to downsize. When you have a good relationship with a recruiter, you pick up the phone and you say, Pino, I just lost my job. What do you have on the go? Can you help me find my next job? Yes, we can. And that's the benefit of connecting with a recruiter. Okay? So, we're gonna be active on LinkedIn to get noticed. We're gonna build a relationship with recruiters. Okay? And the other thing that I want to share with everyone tonight is that I want you guys to go into the job search with an open mind. Okay? It's the most critical thing. Those are two things I want to talk to you about as I wrap up. I'm good for time? Okay. Go into the job search with an open mind. Okay? I speak to so many candidates and they say to me, Pino, I'm only looking for full-time. I want Brampton and I want $80,000. You are not worth $80,000 just yet. You will be. But right now, you're not worth that. So when a recruiter or a company calls you and says, we have this job we want to talk to you about, great. I want you to go into the job search or the interview with an open mind. You are after the experience. The experience is extremely valuable to you, okay? Where you are now is not where you're gonna be 10 years from now. Get the job you're looking for, and then the snowball effect starts happening. Get your foot in the door, and then you can start going from there. I think oftentimes candidates have something fixed in their mind of what they're looking for. Location, salary, job title. And we want things, we live in a society now, we want things now. But great things take time. So go into the job search with an open mind, okay? And the other thing that I want to share with people today is just be positive. Your job search is going to take, again, as I started off my presentation, it's very stressful and it's very exhausting. There was a woman I spoke with, she sent out 238 resumes in 1 year before she was able to get her job. So that's a lot of resumes. So it took her 12 months, 238 resumes before she landed the job she wanted. Okay? So although it's daunting, it's exhausting, remember to always stay positive, because I truly believe positive things happen to positive people. Okay? So although you're frustrated with the job search and you're thinking, who's gonna hire me? I'm a student. You will eventually find a job, but be open-minded, be active on LinkedIn, connect with the recruiters, and it'll happen. Okay? I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna tell you again, I wanna refresh your memory just in case everyone forgot. Please subscribe to my channel because I need the support. Can I count on your support? Yes. Awesome, love it. Ask me some questions. Let's go. What do you have? Any questions?
Which one is your channel?
Oh, yes. You think yes. Very good. Thank you for reminding me. My YouTube channel is The Staffing Alternative, okay? Now, again, I bring guests on that channel. I do a panel, I do like Q&As, and I provide you job searching tips and questions. So when you get tired of me and you want to see a little more of me tonight, please subscribe and watch all you want. It's a really great channel, okay? And I want to continue to grow the channel because I think so many people right now are struggling with the job search, and it's really disheartening to see so many people not find the job they're looking for. The job search shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be that difficult, but there are things you can do to get over the finish line, okay? Okay, anyone got a question for me? Yeah?
What's the best way to approach the LinkedIn?
Okay. So first thing, I would connect them, send them a LinkedIn request, okay? Let them accept it, okay? If you notice in 3 or 4 days they haven't accepted it, find out where they're working. It's online, and pick up the phone and call them. Say, my name is so-and-so. I'm a student. I'm looking for a role in logistics. I understand that's your specialty. Can we schedule a call? It's in the best interest of the recruiter to have a conversation with you. If they say to you, I don't have time right now, great. Can we schedule a date and time? Can we find a date that works? Because I've heard great things about you, and I heard you're one of the best in what you do, and I really want to work with you. Great. That's what you do. Okay? So, guys, again, I'm getting flooded. We're getting flooded with resumes. If you sit at your desk and you send that resume out and you hope that an employer is going to call you, and I'm not discouraging you to do that. I do encourage you to do that. But the labor market, the way it is right now, they're just getting flooded with so many resumes. So you have to be really creative, and you have to be different to find work nowadays. Okay? I've been recruiting for such a long time. I remember they used to fax resumes. That's how long I've been doing this. It's changed and evolved so much, like every industry. And AI now, we haven't talked about AI. AI is changing the way we look for work, right? And it's gonna evolve even more. I spoke to a robot yesterday, 2 days ago, it was so crazy. He had a conversation with me like this. And I was asking him questions about the job search, and he was answering me. So AI is another thing that's gonna change the way we work, and it's gonna continue to evolve. So if you're not different, if you're not doing anything to stand out from the crowd, you're not gonna find what you're looking for, okay? And I know it sounds harsh, it sounds like, wow, that's really harsh, but it's just the reality of where we are, right? So you gotta be different, you gotta be bold, and you gotta think outside the box, okay? Francis, ask me a question, please, I love this sort of stuff. Yes?
You were talking about to create content and video in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But if the recruiter does not see my resume,
Yeah.
how are they gonna know what content?
You're gonna follow that recruiter on LinkedIn. You're gonna connect with the recruiter.
Yeah, but when I apply and
Yeah.
if I didn't pass the ATS,
Yeah.
they're not gonna see my resume. Where
There's
I-
thousands of recruiters on LinkedIn. Someone's gonna, what you want is you want someone to see your resume. You want someone to notice you, right? Someone somewhere will see you on that platform. A majority of the people that are on LinkedIn are headhunters, recruiters, talent acquisition managers. That's the majority of that platform. That's what it is. So someone will recognize you and see that and connect with you, right? Okay, someone asked me, should I call companies at work? Someone asked me, is it okay to call companies at work? Yes, you can, but just be very careful of that, okay? So when I was an internal recruiter, I would have people calling me looking for work. Say, hey, so I noticed you had a position online. Can I talk to you about it? So you can call them work if you have enough, if you want, Google the number and say, hey, can I speak to, find out who the recruiter for that company is and call them at work. Say, hey, listen, I understand you're looking for an accountant. Can I apply to that role? The recruiter oftentimes, 9 out of 10 times, they're gonna say to you, no, apply to our ATS, our applicant tracking system. And you say, great, that's fantastic. I've done that already. I'm exactly what you're looking for. You can stop the search. I'm exactly what you're looking for. So there are things you can do to influence the hiring managers to stop and listen to you. Because if you get them to stop and listen to you, him or her, there are things you can do to influence the hiring manager to engage in conversation, assuming you have the right skills. I'll tell you this as I wrap up. Hiring managers don't want to go through 300-400 resumes. It's exhausting. It's time consuming. That's the last thing they want to do. But if someone called me and said, hey, Pino, I'm exactly what you're looking for. You could stop looking. You don't have to go through 400 resumes. Oh, really? Well, tell me. Then that's your time to shine, right? So again, guys, we don't want to go through this. It's just way too much. Our desks are busy. We got enough on the go. But if you have the patience, call them, introduce yourselves, and then go from there. Okay? Guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Please follow me. You can send me a LinkedIn request on LinkedIn and be happy to accept it. If you have any further questions, connect with me in the coming days. Thanks for your time.